99.9% effective against the COVID-19 coronavirus. Keep using Lifebuoy or any sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. Stay safe.
Sisi Kenyans, we are always ready kuzunguka for bidhaa na biashara. And now, Kenyans have kadhaa local and international courier service providers and new e-commerce platforms. The introduction of a national addressing system will fungua even stronger market links and leave no county behind.
Mawasiliano kwetu, nguvu kwako. The Communications Authority of Kenya, opening your world.
The ILO, through the better utilization of skills through quality apprenticeships, BUSY project, works with social partners and stakeholders to institutionalize workplace-based training in Kenya. At the national level, the project envisages a one-stop national skills development policy operationalized through a National Skills Development Council to develop the skills diversity across all sectors of the economy. At the county level, the project builds the capacity of mastercraft persons in the Jua Kali sector to offer quality apprenticeship training to vulnerable and marginalized youth. To enhance intra-county skills development programming and linkages from county to national programming, the project works in Kilifi, Kitui and Busia counties through multi-stakeholder county workplace-based training coordination committees, CWBTCCs.
It is true, we have been in business for over 20 years now, empowering Kenyans to own ideal and genuine properties. And yes, the biggest and the best urban residential development in Kiambu, Amani Ridge, the place of peace, is taking shape. Let us show you what we have been up to. The Solomonic Gate is complete. The intelligent fountain of peace is up and running. The stone perimeter wall is complete, fully enhanced with razor wire for your security. The 100,000 liter capacity water tank is coming up. We also have the house designs and the title deeds for every plot. Invest in value. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit us at www.optiven.co.ke.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Rashes again? Kiss Kids diapers. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Bye-bye rashes. Bye diapers. Choose Kiss Kids.
This is NTV.
Well, a very good evening to you. We are glad you could make time to join us this evening on NTV Tonight. Now, the coronavirus infections globally has surpassed the 19 million mark, rising the numbers to 19,115,973. The death toll has also risen to 713,901. In Africa, the number of confirmed cases has also surpassed the 1 million mark, with a death toll of 21,771. America still leads with the highest coronavirus cases at 4,995,848, with a death toll of more than 162,000. Now, before we break down the numbers here in the country, here are the highlights.
Tonight, MPs approve huge payout for retired colleagues.
but it's weighing heavily on an already strained budget.
That obviously has to be drawn from the taxpayer. And we afford as a country to increase benefit to that level.
Wamesave kupitia kwa CDF, kupitia kwa pesa kadhaa, marupurupu, wako na mali.
Also tonight, public transport vehicles throw safety out of the window, despite an uptick of coronavirus infections.
It's no longer monkey business or mouse and cat business.
Plus, how the sun is keeping young children in the torrid villages of Garbatula catch up with schoolwork. And also tonight, where's the cat at? Keeping track of the lion movements in the Mara to save them from extinction.
Lions are endangered. We have 2,489 lions in the country.
NTV Tonight with Zainab Ismail.
Well, thank you for joining us. Our sign language interpreter this evening is David Agondoa. Now, an attempt by Parliament to reward retired legislators who served between 1984 and 2001 with a monthly pension of 100,000 shillings could flop if President Uhuru Kenyatta heeds to advise of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission and the National Treasury, cautioning against signing the amendment into law. SRC says the amendment may incite other retired public servants. Victor Kiprop starts us off tonight.
World over, Kenyan members of parliament are best known for being some of the most well-compensated and pampered lawmakers. And on Wednesday, the National Assembly approved lavish lifestyle for their predecessors, who served between 1984 and 2001, with approval of changes to the Pensions Act.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The passage of the 2019 Parliamentary Pensions Amendment Bill means the government will be required to pay a lump sum of 1.76 billion shillings in enhanced pension to the former MPs.
Some of these MPs who served from 1983 to 2001, who are pensionable as we speak, actually earn peanuts in the name of pension. Some of them earn as low as 6,000 shillings per month, and that is why we have brought this to correct that, so that at least they get 100,000 per month.
I think the president and the government is going to reconsider our request that we have a fairly good landing as we are getting older.
More than 375 former members of parliament will see their monthly pension rise to 100,000 shillings from the current law of 33,000 shillings, adding more burden to taxpayers who are already shouldering a 795 billion shillings wage bill, equivalent to 48.1% of the country's annual revenue. This financial year alone, Parliament will spend 119 billion shillings in pensions and gratuities.
Taking into account the situation of the economy now, this bill will cause serious strain to the exchequer.
It does mean that we are spending more money in the wage bill at the expense of development and at the expense of enhancing service delivery.
Minority Leader John Mbadi defends the implementation of the bill, arguing that it will only cost 144 million shillings after a clause that required the payments to be backdated to 2010 was expunged. The SRC, however, maintains that this move may incite other public service retirees.
There will be a ripple effect. There will be demands from other public servants, other state officers for similar treatment, because then you create inequity. So we will review the bill in detail so as to decide the next course of action.
In the meantime, a section of Kenyans are certainly not pleased by the amendment.
Hiyo ni kunyanyasa vijana, kwa sababu hao wabunge wakati wamekuwa kwa uongozi, hata kuiba wameiba, wamesave kupitia kwa CDF, kupitia kwa pesa kadhaa, marupurupu, wako na mali. Sasa tena wakipewa 100,000, swali yangu ni kila mbunge mwenye atakuwa anaingia akitoka anapewa 100,000. Tutaenda hivyo mpaka lini?
Kuna baadhi ya Wakenya ambao hawana kazi saizi, hasa wakati wa COVID. Tunagundua kuwa many youths hawana hata kazi. Tunaambiwa hata kazi mtaani, pesa wengine hawajapata. Sasa huyo mbunge mwenye alistaafu, kwa nini apewe hizo pesa zote?
Victor Kiprop, NTV.
And we'd like to hear your thoughts on this development. While a fresh row over the disputed revenue sharing formula is emerging in the Senate over the composition of a select committee to spearhead deliberations, which is to be chaired by Uasin Gishu Senator Margaret Kamar. NTV is also learning of a meeting this Sunday at the home of Majority Whip Irungu Kangata to find a common ground ahead of another informal meeting on Monday morning. NTV's senior political affairs reporter Kennedy Mureithi is still on this story.
Efforts to forestall a further fallout over the disputed third-generation revenue-sharing formula have hit a snag, with the composition of a 9-member committee set up to steer dialogue being called to question. It is understood the senators opposed to the adoption of the proposed Finance Committee formula are not happy with the choice of Uasin Gishu Senator Margaret Kamar as the chairperson of the special committee. They argue that Kamar is an interested party in the matter and thus they would not settle for anything less other than Speaker Kenneth Lusaka chairing the committee if it must be there.
Where do we expect to go from here?
But Senate Majority Whip Irungu Kangata has defended Professor Kamar.
There is a meeting that has been set to happen any time from now, comprising of a small committee. 5 from those who are supportive of the committee formula and 5 from the other side that is opposed to the committee formula. We hope we shall have one formula that everyone is going to support by the end of this week.
It is also emerging that Kangata has invited senators to a goat-eating party at his home to diffuse tension in the House this Sunday.
I think that is something I wouldn't want to disclose to the public.
The meeting is expected to discuss further amendments that have been proposed by Meru Senator Mithika Linturi and Kericho Senator Aaron Cheruiyot.
Those proposals are yet to be published, but they are proposing that unlike Mutula Kilonzo or Sakaja's proposal to have 316 billion as the baseline, they can take it down a little bit so that maybe, for instance, you have a baseline of about 250 billion, what they are calling realizable revenue. And then from there you start applying the third generation basis or formula. That way you ensure the benefiting counties benefit from the third formula, but on the other side you ensure the so-called losing counties are not losing so much.
Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala now says they must include the proposals by ODM leader Raila Odinga in the talks.
We must have other parameters included, parameters like livestock, parameters like the blue economy, parameters that had been not captured in the previous formula.
Kangata, who is under immense pressure, has also retracted his statement on the handshake being at the brink of collapse if senators leaning towards Raila Odinga would not support the committee formula.
The handshake has been very, very supportive of this process. We have seen senators from the handshake support base coming out very strongly in support of various motions.
So the handshake is not threatened?
It is not threatened at all by this process.
But as the standoff persists, governors are crying foul.
We are urging the Senate to have a sober mind and ensure that no county loses money because of their size, because of the population, or because of their poverty index, because Kenyans are Kenyans and they require equity.
We have not even gotten our allocation for June. Sasa tuko August 5. We have not gotten our allocation for June. Tusijui Julai tutapata namna gani kwa sababu hakuna formula.
Kennedy Mureithi, NTV.
Let's now have a look at the COVID-19 numbers of the day. And 538 more individuals have tested positive for the disease in the last 24 hours out of a sample size of 6,195 tested. This brings the number of infections to 24,411. 516 of the new cases are Kenyan, while 22 are foreigners. An additional 514 people have been discharged from various hospitals upon full recovery, bringing the total number of recoveries to 10,444. Unfortunately, 8 more patients have died, rising the death toll to 399. Nairobi County is still recording the highest number of new infections, with 277 in the last day. Kiambu County has recorded 72 new infections, Kajiado 55, Nakuru 25, Nyeri 20, Muranga 15 and Machakos 9. Now, 2 matatu operators have now died from the COVID-19 disease in the country. This is according to the Matatu Owners Association, which is urging its members and passengers to take extra caution when using public transport. But as Ngina Kirori reports, old habits die hard.
It's late afternoon and passengers aboard this matatu plying the Molo-Nakuru route are packed as sardines in a can. A journey that may carry more risk than it does passengers, as social distancing is blatantly ignored in a classic case of old habits dying hard. The Matatu Owners Association is encouraging passengers to mind their safety foremost.
The protocols that you have to sit in a place where the distance between you and another passenger is 1 meter. Don't allow. Please, that is your right.
This cell phone video shows the extent to which both passengers and operators plying the route have thrown caution to the wind.
Watu wanabeba excess kwa sababu ya capacity ya watu yenye walibeba si kama ya kitambo. Kulingana na sasa hivi ile watu wanaenda si kama ile kitambo. Watu walikuwa wanaingia kama ni 40 wanaingia 40, sasa ni 20.
It's very unfortunate that at times this have got to happen, but I believe it's scattered. It's not all buses and all matatus are doing the same. What I would just want to tell the crew is that you're not immune to this. You're so exposed. The more you have passengers squeezing in, you can easily contract the virus.
Prevent COVID-19. To this end, the industry has lost 2 conductors to COVID-19.
It's no longer monkey business or mouse and cat business. It has to be, we have to adhere to what has been put in place by the ministry.
But those in the sector argue that the strict measures outlined for the industry, including a monthly COVID-19 test for all staff, have hit the industry hard.
Rule 1 was that we had to reduce passengers by 50%. This affected our revenues by 50%. We are hardly able to meet our operational costs.
Now, the temptation to carry extra passengers for an extra coin may have overtaken the adherence to COVID-19 preventive measures, which could potentially save a life. But the matatu sector says that the government needs to provide a stimulus package if indeed matatus can carry half their capacity. Kena Kirori, NTV, Nairobi.
Well, this is definitely another headache in the fight against COVID-19 here in the country. While away from that, a fresh flare-up of attacks has broken the calm that had just returned to the Nkaro and Toraret border that had witnessed violence a week ago. Several people are nursing wounds in various hospitals in Kilgoris after fresh clashes erupted Wednesday evening. According to residents, 30 hectares of sugarcane plantation and 2 houses were set ablaze by unknown assailants. Deputy County Commissioner Hassan Noor says police have arrested 12 people in connection with the renewed skirmishes. Noor added that the arrested are aged between 14 and 47 years, maintaining that the chaos witnessed on Wednesday was not related to the protracted inter-clan conflict. The 2 warring clans were called for a meeting with the security officers at the Enoratet border and resolved to convene inter-clan meeting tomorrow. Now, an estimated 100 lions are killed every year, thus posing a threat to the ecosystem. This is according to the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, which has launched a decade-long lion and spotted hyena recovery and action plan today to promote conservation of the 2 species. NTV's Ruth Sarmoe witnessed the delicate collaring of a lioness in the Masai Mara. Take a look.
Is indeed upon us. As the wild beasts migrate at the Mara Serengeti conservancies, the king of the jungle sees an opportunity to make a killing. But as the mighty lion pounces with such precision and power, it is itself in danger. The Kenya Wildlife Service says human-wildlife conflict is threatening the population of the big cat.
So far, lions are endangered. We have 2,489 lions in the country, and hyenas are vulnerable.
Part of conserving the ecosystem, they say, is saving what is left. Kenya Wildlife Service has been tagging this lioness to track its movement and behavioral patterns. She is 7 years old, chosen from the super pride of this jungle. It is a meticulous yet risky process which begins with sedation. Only then can one comfortably handle such a magnificent beast. The collar is fitted, complete with a sensor which sends a signal on the animal's exact whereabouts. If the lioness encroaches human space and exposes herself to danger, the rangers can easily track and guide it back to safety. This recovery plan is also targeting spotted hyenas.
Spotted hyenas are the most hated for their preying habits around homesteads, especially those homesteads that border parks and game reserves and conservancies.
That are currently estimated to be between 4,000 and 5,000 species, or other animals.
The surrounding community feels left out on a matter that affects them directly.
The community surrounding this park fully support conservation. But when it comes to making critical decisions like this one, you don't see them anywhere. Tunaletewa tu programs from Nairobi, scientists, nini. What is this science? Even in Yellowstone National Park in the United States, fortress conservation mentality has failed 100%. It has failed, and it will fail here.
Ruth Sarmoi, NTV.
All right, thanks, Ruth, for that report. And it's time for another break, but don't turn away until you look at this. This is what's known as a greasy pole climbing competition. And what's it for, you may ask? Well, this is just one of the ways that Indonesians marked the country's Independence Day before the COVID-19 pandemic, of course. Hundreds of participants climbed 174 slippery poles to collect prizes at the top. I guess so much fun.
Oya ni aje, mimi ndio Jonte Fresh. Mimi ndio nimetambulika hii Gikomba yote sekta ya manguo. Jumio transform nguo ordinary za mtush zenye ziuka mna hii harufu ya Bale into the freshest Iggy koshi yote. Siri ni hii Real mpya ya pink. Na kushow mtush zinang'ara kung'ara kushinda kamera. So clean, so fresh. Ma customer wanaisana na hii story. Ninatumia Aerial Touch of Down mpya tu.
Ati, naweza taka kwa hii kabambe, nipate 4G smartphone.
Wewe wacha. Yaani mnasema bala ya kujikaza, ninaweza pata smartphone mpya na 20 bob peke yake daily.
Ati, badala hii tochi yangu naweza nunua hiyo 4G smartphone niangaliange vitabu kwa mtandao na ni 20 bob pekee daily.
Pata smartphone mpya kuanzia 20 bob daily pekee ukilipa mdogo mdogo. Weka down payment ya 1000. Lipa kuanzia 20 bob daily kwa miezi 9. Piga star 544 hash kuona kama unafaulu kupata 4G Neon Ray Pro inayokuja na screen kubwa ya kutazama video, battery inayodumu, space mingi ya kuweka picha na videos, HD camera na apps zote za Google unazopenda.
Kuma bei ya smartphone hapa.
Bao bei ya smartphone.
Si hapo Safaricom ni yako kabisa.
Beat sensitivity pain fast with Sensodyne Rapid Action for clinically proven relief in 60 seconds.
It is true, we have been in business for over 20 years now, empowering Kenyans to own ideal and genuine properties. And yes, the biggest and the best urban residential development in Kiambu, Amani Ridge, the place of peace, is taking shape. Let us show you what we have been up to. The Solomonic Gate is complete. The intelligent fountain of peace is up and running. The stone perimeter wall is complete, fully enhanced with razor wire for your security. The 100,000-liter capacity water tank is coming up. We also have the house designs and the title deeds for every plot. Invest in value. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit us at www.optiven.co.ke.
I help women find independence by training them in fish farming. It's tough on my back, joints, and can cause headaches. Panadol Extra relieves multiple types of pain. Panadol Extra, now with new Optizorb technology to fight multiple tough pains with 3 times more pain-relieving medicine in the first 30 minutes when you need it most. Seeing them support themselves makes any pain worth it. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
This week on The Trend.
They telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, I miss you, Ezzy.
Buy me ama. Oh yeah, can you give me $1? I wanna be your baby mama.
With DJ E on the ones and twos. All this and more only on The Trend right here on NTV.
Well, thank you for staying with us. You're watching NTV Tonight. Now, for some pupils and students across the country, continuity of learning has been aided by technology in the face of a ravaging global health pandemic. But in remote areas like Garbatula in Isiolo County, e-learning is but a distant dream due to lack of connectivity to electricity and unavailability of digital learning aids. But as Leila Mohammed now reports, there is light at the end of the tunnel for the young minds thirsty for knowledge.
Each new day provides a new opportunity for the pupils of Dida Abakir Primary School in Garbatula of Isiolo County to catch up on their studies even under the darkness of the pandemic.
Halima, I gave you an assignment the other time.
Their teacher Adan Maalim Abdi takes turns of visits to his pupils in their manyatas to teach and guide them in their studies. When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, Adan says.
The ministry have said the year is now lost. The children are not going back to school again until January. The learning is still going on, but the major challenge we have is there's no network coverage. There are no TVs and those radios, the gadgets, electronic gadgets people don't use. They don't use. We heard there's this e-learning going on, but children in the villages, since they closed the school.
For Adan, the calling was necessitated by these challenges he speaks of. If not this way, then the young ones may lose out on their studies and with so much time to spare, may also be exposed to destructive vices. Habiba Ali Noor, a student at St. Paul's Secondary School in Garbatula, knows the risks only too well.
Hofu yangu kwa nikiwa hii muda mrefu naogopa kuolewa mapema. Shule yangu masomo yangu katika alafu ndio tano katika.
Habiba says she has been lucky to get a few hours each day to study. But she's worried that the flames from the paraffin lamp may be detrimental to her health. She aspires to be a doctor someday, but around here, dreams are often thwarted by circumstances.
Koroba ilikuwa yanisumbuanga mara mafuta yanakosekana na nataka kusoma.
If as teachers, sometimes we go around the villages to check on those people, especially the cadets, to see how they are, whether they are sleeping early or not. Most of the household you see them sleeping very early, as early as even 7:30, 8.
We supported the pupils to have more study times during the evenings, where they can complete their homeworks and they can do more, they can have a lot of time when they are studying during the evenings.
Just this month, the darkness inside the Manyatas was a huge impediment. But the gift of solar-powered lamps is shining the light upon their tunnels of life.
Mtoto nasoma na hiyo light mpaka saa 3:30. Mbele nasoma na torch. Mbeleni kuna shida. Saa hii iko na faida mingi. Hata simu hawezi charge na pesa na hiyo tu light na charge na hiyo solar tu.
The lighting in their households have improved. They have enough light when they are cooking in the evenings. The living conditions in the households have improved. Why did we choose this area? This is an area that is not connected to the national grid.
World Vision, a non-governmental organization, has distributed 720 households an eco-friendly alternative to the lighting needs. Dida Abakir School has received 150 pieces for when classes resume.
We are helping the communities to adapt to sustainable sources of energy by moving away from non-friendly sources of energy.
Initially, village people used to go in dark, even fear walking at night. Even if this kind of some kind of emergency, unless you get a very some group of people to assist to, accompany you if there's something going on in your neighborhood. So since the night, now it's everywhere. Even the ones you have issued in the villages, some they are put as a security outside.
As the COVID-19 pandemic keeps classroom doors shut, the pupils of the sleepy village in Garbatula will hold on to the little ray of light to illuminate not only their books, but their dreams and the path to them.
Continue learning, continue studying. Until January, there's no coming back to school.
Leila Mohammed, NTV.
And then,
all right, thanks, Leila. And of course, the COVID-19 pandemic has only lifted the lead on the disparities in the education system here in the country. We'll continue to bring you more stories like that. Now, the late afternoon discovery of the bodies of two boys at a swamp in Limuru town has left two families in utter shock and the community questioning the disturbing incident. The family is now calling on the police to speed up investigations.
It was a search that would yield relief and heartbreak for two families desperately searching for their sons. 13-year-old John Jenga Gathirimu and 10-year-old Kevin Karaoke Maura went missing in late July, but their bodies were discovered in the Manguo swamp after the family launched a search. The two were last spotted near Impressive Gardens in Limuru town, grazing sheep with a third boy.
Watatu wakiliza buzi. Mmoja akapeleka buzi nyumbani, hao wengine sijui kama walirudi hapa kutafuta hizo bata. Sisi kama familia tungetaka hiyo kitu ifanywe haraka ndio tujue bila waliingia hapa na tukawapata hapa.
Na watoto walikuwa wamekuja kucheza hapa kwa maji na ndio walisema wameona kama kuna watu wamekufa maji hapa ndani. Na ndio waliambia watu wasema wale walikuwa karibu na wakaenda hapo na wakaenda wakaangalia na wakaona kulikuwa na watu wawili.
The cause of death is unknown, but investigations are underway. The two boys were neighbors at Ngarariga village in Limuru sub-county. The two families shared a bond while the two were alive and have now also been united in grief. Gena Kirori, NTV.
All right, thanks, Gena. Business news is up next, but before that, you better take a look at this. This is remarkable footage for the moment a kayaker was left stunned after a New Zealand fur seal slapped him in the face with an octopus. Yes, an octopus. And what the kayaker did to deserve that slap? We have no idea. Stay tuned.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
For a better tomorrow, don't forget to do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate every night.
Pata smartphone mpya kuanzia 20 bob daily pekee ukilipa mdogo mdogo. Weka down payment ya 1000. Lipa kuanzia 20 bob daily kwa miezi 9. Piga *544# kuona kama unafaulu kupata 4G Neon Ray Pro. Si hapo Safaricom ni yako kabisa.
John suffers from indigestion. His twin James suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
A time most awaited, showing off the acclaimed character in a role played to perfection.
No. I am more in than you.
No, I am.
No, I am.
No, I am. Oh, you're making me so mad.
I guess. Tukondani. I am all that you associate me with in the film industry. I am Kenya Film Commission, tasked with ensuring your filmmaking process is a smooth sail. And I can only do it if all you filmmakers are registered with me. Since it is a requirement by law to be registered and certified by the Kenya Film Commission. Pamoja, tutajenga hii industry and beyond. What's your excuse? Ya kutokuwa ndani? Je, uko ndani?
Register today at www.kenyafilmcommission.com.
This is The Only Name in Business. Welcome, I am Julian Samboko, and we start on the subject of accountability for COVID-19 funds. All ministries, departments and agencies which incurred COVID-19 related expenditure between March and June will be required to file an expenditure report with the National Treasury by August 14, 2020. This follows development of guidelines for mandatory reporting on disaster-related expenditure by the National Treasury, which has been made public in a circular dated July 23, 2020. The disasters on which the reporting will be mandatory include pandemics, drought, floods, and landslides. Among other requirements, accounting officers will be required to disclose programs under which the disaster-related expenditure was incurred, the total amount incurred, and in which currency it was incurred. Reporting on disaster-related expenditure will be made on a quarterly basis. And away from that, the county government of Kitui is taking steps to bolster beekeeping in the county as a way to help households generate alternative income. The county government has trained over 100 trainers of bee farmers on modern beekeeping technology to boost honey production in the region. Our reporter Judith Cherono filed the story.
Over the years, Kitui has been one of the best-known counties as far as production of honey is concerned. The county has 5 registered bee farmers cooperatives with over 10,000 membership and over 100,000 beehives. The Kitui County government has trained more than 100 trainers and 10 county agricultural officers who are expected to offer training to other farmers interested in bee farming.
Wakati nilikuwa nasikia zamani, nilikuwa naona hii kazi ni ya wanaume. Lakini wakati nilianza kusoma, nikagundua kweli hii kitu niko na faida kwa kina mama.
Hii cooperative imetusaidia sana kuleta asali pamoja na wakulima pamoja, tunalipa pamoja, alafu bei yetu imeenda juu.
According to Stephen Kioko, a bee farmer, the formation of the cooperatives attracted Kitui County government, which came in to offer them the needed support. This training, among other goodies such as 50 pairs of gumboots, 50 pairs of bee suits, 200 harvesting buckets, as well as 50 bee smokers equipment. With the unpredictable weather patterns, farmers here are now shifting their focus from the traditional farming methods of maize and beans to beekeeping, a venture that they say can fetch them good money in return. They have been able to sustain their families through the sale of honey.
Ningetaka kuwauliza watu wote wa Kitui County pale
walipo. Muangalie zile cooperatives za asali ziko karibu na wewe, ujiunge nayo, maana hii ndio tunataka ikuwe cash crop kabisa kabisa ya Kitui County.
Dr. Temi Mutia, the Kitui Value Chain Addition Specialist, says that cutting down of trees for charcoal burning has affected beekeeping badly. Therefore, they are going to optimize their water basins and community forests for beekeeping and set up tree nurseries to plant species that will encourage pollination, thus scaling up honey production in Kitui County. At the same time, urged the youths to join the venture as to scale up beekeeping in the county. Judith Cherono, NTV.
And staying with the counties, a section of coffee farmers in Boni are uprooting coffee trees and switching to planting macadamia and rearing poultry. The 2,000 farmers in Boni are citing diminishing returns from coffee, which they say has compelled them to look elsewhere to sustain their livelihoods. The farmers complain that payment per kilogram has been going down over the last 2 years, whereby in 2019 they were only paid 26 shillings for the early crop and 19 shillings for the late crop. In March 2019, President Uhuru Kenyatta announced a new 3 billion shillings coffee cherry revolving fund for lending support to coffee farmers.
Mapuno kwa wakati uliopita, mapuno ilikuwa mzuri sana kwa mkulima, lakini kwa sababu ya malipo duni, mkulima ama wakulima wakatoka kwa kilimo ya kahawa.
Uhuru alipeana 3 billion amaware ya revival of coffee in Kenya. Na sisi watu wa Kikima hatujapatiwa. Tunauliza shida iko wapi? Sisi tuambiwe wakulima.
Mwaka mzima huo umeisha, hatujaona pesa. Tulikuja kahawa yetu tukilima, tunatai ikifika Disemba tupate pesa. Disemba imefita pule, tujaona kitu hata kitoko.
And let's close by taking to the skies. In a move aimed at safeguarding its assets from being seized by creditors, Virgin Atlantic has filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy. Through the filing, the Virgin Atlantic says it has negotiated a deal with stakeholders for injection of fresh capital, which will steer it away from deepening financial headwinds. In May, Virgin Atlantic restructured, slashing 3,000 jobs and closed its base in London's Gatwick Airport to consolidate operations at the Heathrow Airport. The airline also retired its iconic Boeing 747-400 fleet as a cost containment measure. In July, Virgin Atlantic secured a 1.2 billion sterling rescue package from private funds designed to keep the airline flying as aviation industry struggles to pick up from the slump in international travel. And that takes us to the close of business. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
That was Julian Samboko with the business news. Thank you, Julian. Let's take another quick break, but before that, take a look at this. Well, for many women, their wedding day has got to epitomize perfection. But things were far from perfect for this bride. The church aisle she walked down in the Philippines was absolutely flooded after Tropical Storm Yagi brought with it heavy rainfall. But this bride evidently took it all in her stride, and this video of her bravery won the hearts of thousands.
Get free access to digital learning today. For primary and secondary students, one can now access learning and revision materials that has been approved by KICD. Dial *291# and subscribe to Safaricom Digital Learning and Shupavu 291 today. Tufungue njia, elimu iendelee.
Breaking news from Molfix. Let's see what they're developing right now.
Molfix pants with anatomic fit technology. New Molfix pants, an invention from babies for babies.
Use should also try Molfix.
Ndovu flowers are fortified with vitamins and minerals to provide wholesome goodness for the whole family. Ndovu all-purpose flour makes the most delicious chapatis, mandazis and all other pastries. Ndovu is readily available at your nearest shop. Ndovu Tosha.
Parenting is all about learning when to be tough and when to be gentle. Tough, gentle. But when it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Tough call. Panadol Baby and Infant. Tough on fever, gentle on your child.
Well, we're glad you could stay with us. You're watching NTV Tonight. As the number of coronavirus infections in the country continue to soar, the burden is now on counties to prepare to take in a higher number of patients. Tharaka Nithi County is among those that have met the isolation bed threshold. The county has set aside 488 isolation beds and is preparing to equip the county's ICU, which will be unveiled in a week's time. An isolation centre has also been set up at the Chuka Level 5 hospital and an oxygen plant established to meet the hospital's needs. The county also received 5 ventilators from the national government. Tharaka Nithi Governor Muthomi Njuki says the county has so far reported 7 COVID-19 cases and 2 recoveries. He spoke after a meeting with Nation Media Group CEO Stephen Gitagama, who was on a courtesy visit and where they discussed various areas of partnership, including sensitizing the public on COVID-19.
Protocols that have been given by the Ministry of Health to keep away the disease, that is social distancing, washing our hands and sanitizing all the time, so that we can avoid having people in the hospital and we only take in those who are excessively sick, and especially those who have other conditions.
This is a seriousness we should have across the country, because there are places where people are not serious, they are not wearing masks, they are not cleaning their hands, they are not maintaining social distance, because you can see here also we are clearly maintaining social distance. So that's a good thing. I think I'm very excited with this visit, and then we have agreed on a number of initiatives, a number of partnership arrangements. We will be coming back. NTV will be here. NTV on the road will be here to showcase what is Tharaka Nithi made of.
All right, let's now cross the borders to Sudan, where at least 10 people have been killed and more than 3,000 homes ruined by flooding triggered by the torrential rains across much of the country this week. Some 1,800 homes have been completely destroyed, while just over 1,500 were partially ruined. 21 schools and 8 mosques have been swept away by the raging waters. The UN said on Wednesday that more than 50,000 people had been affected by the flooding in the country. Downpour in Blue Nile State caused a dam to collapse on July 29th, destroying or damaging 800 homes and potentially compromising access to water for over 84,000 people. Heavy rains typically hit Sudan between June and October each year, resulting in frequent flooding. Meanwhile, Lebanon's diaspora has stepped up to provide assistance following the massive explosion that laid west to the capital, Beirut. The expatriates have been rushing to wire money to loved ones who lost their homes or were injured in the blast on Tuesday, while others have been working to create special funds to address the tragedy. The group, alongside other organizations, have also set up Beirut Emergency Fund 2020, which will raise much-needed money and channel it to safe and reputable organizations in Lebanon to aid in the recovery. The death toll from the Beirut blast has climbed up to 137, with at least 5,000 people wounded.
The explosion witnessed on Tuesday obliterated part of the port and caused damage over a wide radius in the heart of the city. French President Emmanuel Macron left Paris for Lebanon on a first visit by a world leader to Beirut after the deadly port blast. Macron will seek to rally urgent aid for Lebanon, but is also expected to press for overdue reform in the country. The blast has been blamed on an unsecured store of ammonium nitrate at the Beirut airport. The blast has been blamed on an unsecured store of ammonium nitrate at the Beirut port. France has sent 3 planes to Beirut loaded with rescuers, medical equipment, and a mobile clinic. Prosecutors in France have also opened an investigation into the blast, which wounded 21 French citizens. Several other countries dispatched emergency medical aid, field hospitals, rescue experts, and tracking dogs as the world reacts swiftly to a nation already close to economic collapse and a nation that's dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. Neighboring Israel has also offered humanitarian aid. Investigators in Lebanon are now focusing on possible negligence in the storage of tons of a highly explosive fertilizer in a waterfront warehouse, while the government ordered the house arrest of several port officials. The incident has fueled new anger towards Lebanon's political class, and demonstrators in downtown Beirut attacked the convoy of the former Lebanese prime minister and brawled with his bodyguards in the most overt display of wider anger. Officials expect the death toll to rise further as emergency workers dig through the rubble to search for survivors.
And we'll continue to bring you more news from Beirut there in Lebanon. Time for another break before we head into the sports news with Watson Karuma. But take a look at this. A small chain of cat hotels in Malaysia claims to be the country's first 5-star facility for pampered felines. It boasts comfortable rooms, bathing facilities, and even a very important cat, that is VIC, room equipped with CCTV, allowing owners to communicate with their cats from anywhere in the world. Oh, what a time to be a cat.
From far with you. I even gifted you a magnificent house. Rosa, it's the thought that counts. Please help me.
When it comes to fever, you need to be both. Panadol Baby and Infant starts to work on fever in 15 minutes and is gentle on the tummy. Panadol Baby and Infant, tough on fever, gentle on your child.
It is true, we have been in business for over 20 years now, empowering Kenyans to own ideal and genuine properties. And yes, the biggest and the best urban residential development in Kiambu, Amani Ridge, the place of peace, is taking shape. Let us show you what we have been up to. The Solomonic Gate is complete. The intelligent fountain of peace is up and running. The stone perimeter wall is complete, fully enhanced with razor wire for your security. The 100,000 liter capacity water tank is coming up. We also have the house designs and the title deeds for every plot. Invest in value. Call us today on 0790 300 300 or visit us at www.optiven.co.ke.
How to improve toddler behavior. Show your love. Make sure your displays of affection for your child outnumber any consequences or punishment. Prioritize rules rather than overloading your child with rules from the onset. Prioritize those geared towards safety first.
Kiss Kids diapers. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Kiss Kids, no rashes. Bye bye rashes. Bye diapers. Choose Kiss Kids.
Mwenyezi Mungu atakufungulia hazina zake nzuri kutoka mbinguni na kubariki kazi za mikono yako. Utayakopesha mataifa mengi, lakini wewe hautakopa. Mungu atakufanya kuwa wa kwanza na sio wa mwisho. Hakika utaendelea mbele na sio kurudi nyuma.
To get blessings za maisha, SEO Skiza tune. Dial *811 *928 #.
Finding the truth in these uncertain times has become certain. Possibilities for business even more convenient with the Nation e-paper. To enjoy this and more, simply dial *550*1# for Daily Nation and *550*5# for Business Daily on your mobile phone and get 50% discount on the e-paper. Yes, for just 20 shillings each, the truth will find you and more possibilities right where you are. Dial *550*1# for Daily Nation and *550*5# for Business Daily today. Terms and conditions apply.
This week on The Trend,
they telling me to stop. Every time we step up on the scene, we make it pop. Yeah, I miss you, Ezzy.
buy me ama. Oh yeah, can you give me dollar? I wanna be your baby mama. With DJ E on the ones and twos.
I can see you looking at me.
All this and more only on The Trend right here on NTV.
That's right. Welcome to NTV Sport. I'm Watson Karuma. Now, COVID-19 has served yet another blow to already beleaguered football players in the country. More than 10 players have had their contracts terminated by Kenyan Premier League club ACB, which blames the pandemic for tough financial times. Former Harambee Stars forward Stephen Waruru, former Gor Mahia defender Pascal Ogweno and goalkeeper Alan Owini are among those leaving the club. The news come despite a sponsorship deal for KPL was signed, whereby each club is set to receive 8 million Kenyan shillings. Now, a group of Kogalo members have threatened to boycott the forthcoming polls. The group accuses the incumbent office of failing to create a level playing field for all candidates and interested parties. Gor Mahia elections, which will be done virtually, are set for this Saturday. Chairman Ambrose Rachier and Secretary General Sam Ochola are both unopposed.
I want the Electoral Board to come out clear on these various issues. Provide proof that ISPAC is contracted by the Electoral Board to conduct the election slated for 8th of 2020. We'd also like them to tell us if voter education has been conducted to equip the voters with the know-how to cast their votes, since this exercise will be done electronically. Are the candidates comfortable with these laid down procedures? And can they attest to that? The process of voting cannot be restricted to 1 hour.
Rally driver Stella Mutai says she still misses the thrills behind the wheel. The mother of 4 girls urges more women to join this sport, which she says offer immense networking opportunity. Our Muranga correspondent Martin Mora caught up with the former rally driver, who is now a farmer.
It is a completely different kind of life for Stella Mutai as she works at a 4-acre farm. Her farm preparation, not as exciting as the life behind the wheel of a rally car.
We had our own champ, Patrick Njuru. And when I started the sport, I did contact, I got in touch with Patrick Njuru, who was able to also guide me and inspire me and encourage me.
At first, her family was apprehensive about the idea of a woman driving a rally car.
Just like any mother would be. When you imagine the speeds, and you're thinking, you want to be in this car, do you want to die or an early death or what, Why? Because they didn't understand.
In 2009, she joined a motorsports academy where she underwent rigorous 3 months training before she became a navigator.
And I sat in my first rally with a gentleman called John Muigai. We went on to do a few more rallies with him. But at the end of the day, I was still thinking, my dream was to be in the driver's seat.
She wanted the seat behind the wheel, and in 2010, she bought a Subaru Impreza. She drove it in various rally events, navigated by Helen Shiri.
We made our debut as an all-ladies team at the Safari Rally, and we didn't look back thereafter. We were crowned as the first indigenous women in Kenya to finish the Safari Rally. So for that, that has been my most memorable event.
It is during the rally events that she met other women who were interested in the sport, and together they formed Warembo Bila Makeup.
None is active at the moment. It will take the effort of, engaging sponsors to come see the benefit of supporting a ladies team. It excites the crowds.
In 2014, she decided to take a break from the sport after sponsors withdrew. Farming is what she's doing now, but rallying remains an exciting sport to her and something she always looks forward to making a comeback soon. Martin Mora, NTV, Murang'a County.
Manchester United and Inter Milan clinched places in the quarterfinals of the Europa League after winning their respective rescheduled ties. United had a 5-0 lead from their first leg played in March before winning 2-1 Wednesday night. Jesse Lingard and Anthony Martial. Away goes the Olympic rings and away goes Watson. That does it for NTV Sport. Thank you very much for your time. Have a lovely night.
All right, thanks Watson Karuma for that. You know, before we end this, I'm still thinking about one thing, how those cats in Malaysia are enjoying all this pampering under VIP. Oh wait, let me get that correct. VIC, very important cat in a hotel. A 5-star one, by the way. Oh boy, I wish it was me. Well, that brings us to the end of our bulletin. So many thanks for watching. David Agondoa was our co-sign interpreter this evening. My name is Zainab Ismail. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing and stay safe.
This is NTV.